Cool. So I think we're live now. What our goal now is to add some kind of a navigation to this website. Okay, so currently this website is a React website. It shows certain things. So for example, it shows a few different parts. Okay, one part is this. Okay, the second is this part. And then we have like last 16 hour, 1 hour. This kind of like these are all or tissues or organs of this React organism. Okay, so what we want to do now is add some navigation to it. There's also a small feature in this so that like we can actually go to certain slash exercise goes to this kind of a page, but we also want some kind of a navigation, and ideally there is some navigation here as well that points back to the main page or to yeah. So see, if I'm doing this right now, I did a back button. It is going very well. There's no issue. But if I do a forward button, still happy doing forward back, forward back. It's not reloading, which is kind of scary because I haven't implemented what I would say navigation, but it's working as if this was a perfect, working example already. So what we can do in this case is, yeah, it's working. Usually this reloads, but it's not reloading. What I'm pressing is like Alt forward and Alt backwards, um, which is helping me go back and forth. But ideally, we will have some kind of a UI, like we have a light and a dark button here. We have a UI buttons that basically navigates us. Okay, so so let's jump into the code right away. If we go to the code for this, okay, and then we look at sweet. So this is the code. This is the app file. It may look a bit scary, but what it is basically is just the main thing here is your home function and the app function. Okay, so this part. So if I zoom into that, it's basically we are returning a router. Okay, so a router is something that we got from here. So we imported the router. Okay, we basically did a browser router and as import browser router as router route and routes from React Router DOM, which is something new I've seen, but I copy pasted this. Okay, so this is import browser router as router, comma route and routes from React Router DOM, not like all three from, yeah. So what we want to do now is basically add some navigation, right? So currently what is happening is home is displayed. And then what we can do is in the router, in the routes, we have one route here. Okay, and then we have these like map function of the routes coming through as well. And this is the routes. So this is the router, then he has the routes. And yeah, so what we can do is put a navigation either inside the home or we can put it outside in the router. Something like we always want to display this, right? But what we could also do is, yeah, I'm thinking like how do we implement a navigation in here? Okay, so we can actually ask ChatGPT about this. If we go to say we say chat, and we'd be like, how to, we did actually have like a React stuff here. So how can I add navigation to my React app navigation buttons. Okay, so and you can use link component from the React Router DOM. Here's an example of how you can use the link component to create. Okay, so it's saying that also you can import the link and to. So this is Butsuo. Like actually, this is not bad. Let's actually use this. Okay, so example, render these three. And he's also giving like actually you can just put it in the router itself. Okay, so which is not bad actually. So this, let's do that. Let's make a navigation component. Okay, and he says like put it in here. So we says like it's okay to put it next to the router, right? So that is what we are going to do. If we go to here next to the router, just paste it in there as our navigation. And now after we pasted that, we can make this. So if I do a new file and what's the like copy paste the code for the navigation. If you go to to, yeah, and then we paste it in here. So we're basically importing a link from React Router DOM, and we can save this file as navigation.js. Not in source. I want to store it in components. In molecules and navigations.js. Navigation, molecules, navigation.js. Okay, and there goes Telegram bot asking us what we're doing. So I'll just told it like I'm programming, so it will shut up. So we did save this as a navigation.js in molecules. So what we can do is import molecules navigation.js in here. Okay, so I can go like this. Instead of Power BI, we'll just say navigation. Okay, and components molecules. CULES molecules navigation. Sweet. So we've imported this and we've done that. So actually, honestly, we should immediately now be able to see what is good. Was not found in components, but we also need to export this in navigation. We also need to export the basically it's complaining about, and then I'll say export default navigation, and then he doesn't have much of a problem now. Cool. So what we can do now is instead of having these links, I'll say home, and then I'll say programming for now. And then I'll say 168. 168. Okay, let's say last 168 shares. Okay, and we'll say programming. Okay, so now we have a link to home and we have a link to this, and this we have put the navigation component in the router. Okay, so now actually we can go ahead and see the changes live. So I'll basically do a Cloudflare D to expose the port. CLOU Cloudflare URL HTTP localhost. What this basically does is allows us to expose a port on our computer to the internet with a temporary link. So he has given us a temporary link, which I'm going to open a new browser, new tab. And there we have it. Like we have home, programming, and 168 hours, which is working very perfectly at the moment. This is how I expect it to work. If I'm in programming, if I say for example, like I close this and go to programming again. Okay. Once the website is loaded, because it takes too much time to load, going to home should be like immediate, not like take 5 hours like it usually does. So yeah, that's it. Last thing that I want to do also is now what we can do is make the 168 hour div better, so that we have, you know, something good showing up in 168 hours instead of, so programming currently says 1 hour, so that's fine, not an issue in the home. So this is actually kind of implemented. We do want to break this up into smaller chunks. So this is like a promote, this is like a prevent, you know, and prevent and kind of not only, but these are mostly promote and the prevent, and these are then some kind of a navigation that we want to have. I think that's not too hard, so we can actually put them. If we go, yep. So now let's improve our navigation. So instead of programming, I'll say last 24 hours, right? 24, and then we also need to make the routes for these. Okay, so this is just the navigation, but let's, and there's also one thing that I'm seeing, they are coming very close to each other. The navigation isn't really beautiful in this case. What we can do is do some CSS on them. However, ideally we get some good CSS, you know. So I ask ChatGPT if he knows about CSS. The links given by React DOM are not very user friendly, meaning is there a way to style them easily? Okay, so yes, you can use the style prop in the link component, but blah blah blah, style prop, blah 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 blah, React DOM, button style, background color, blah blah blah. And then he says, like, in the navigation, just link, you just add the style, right? Button style. Okay, you can customize further by adding additional CSS to the button style. Alternative, you can use the CSS class name, the link prop. Okay, class name button, and in the CSS file we can add that. Yes, this is one way, but better would be to use something like you know, class. Use this class, CSS class, but can't we? Okay, for now let's do this. Okay, let's for now implement this, and then we'll see if this is good enough. Okay, so basically says define a const, and it's outside the function, so that's fine. And then he says button style background blue. I don't want a background blue. I want background to be nothing, just a normal one. Color white, no. Color should be the same. Padding. Okay. So this background color blue, color white, padding, blah blah blah, border radius, text decoration, none. Okay, first let's just see how it looks like. Then later we will add the other things. So if we look at import link from blah blah blah, and then style is equal to button style, right? So if we copy this, we go to true, and we put in all our links, a bit of a style. Cool. So style is equal to button style. And now if we look at our website again, actually we can just go like this. We should see some good navigation here. So home goes to home, programming goes to programming, and so what we can do is the one issue that I see there is like programming is coming out as 24. So I'll say last 24. Okay. And in here, we want to when we go to 24, let's define the route for 24, right? So in here, we have a route for, first, let's say, top. I'll say a route for top, okay? So if we go in here, I'll say route for top. Route exact path. And I'll say there should be a route for top. So Control C, Control V, yep. And I'll say I want a route for top, not exact path, just path, top. Okay, an element is going to be top, top stuff. Top. So if we look at the home, right, what we have here, we need to make it smaller. It has this, which is the class name app, last updated. Wow. Ideal top and top activities. Sorted numbers prevent. So this is basically top activities. So we can easily just, be like, give it a div. So when I say element is equal to, we can tell it top activities. So I can do a trick here and just say, just render the top activities, Yep. And put it in here. All in one line. Yep. And let's see whether this is happy with that or not. And then when we go click on the, then when we go click on 24, or actually click on top, I think it's defined the route as top. It should give us, yeah, just that. This is Impala. This is what we expected. Cool. So, yeah, this is kind of what we expected. So still it is kind of top. So I'll say all top. So in the navigation, I'll say all top, which goes to top. So I'll say top, say all top. Okay. And Watongi. Yep. So when we go home, we go all top, and home. It's beautiful. 非常 beautiful. Okay. So this is 不错. 没错. Okay. Go to top, all top. Go home. The last 24 hours. So let's now quickly also do a last 24 hour. I think we can do it. And it's an easy win as well. So we can do a last 24 hour, 168 hours. So if we go last 24 hours, in our routes, we'll define, yeah, we can actually just copy this, Control C, Control V, Control V. So top slash 24, and we go top slash 168. For now, we just hard code them, but later we can fix them, have a better working version. Sweet. So I'll what we can do, so top activity is coming from somewhere, right? Yes. Similarly, I'll just say top 24 hours. Top ACTS 24, and I'll say top ACTS 168. ACTS 168. Sweet. 然后现在我们可以define these, right? We can define these. Top X 24, top X 168. So if we go see where this was defined, okay, it was defined here. I'll just define it next to here then. Okay, so I'll say const top X 164, and then I'll say const top X 168 equals to, and then I'll just steal stuff from here. Okay, and 我同意。Sweet. So what we have now is very we're using an ideal top X data for 168. So instead we'll say top X 24 data and top X 168 data. So we need to define these two and get ideal top data, right? So we'll just say copy these two, and then instead of this and this, I'm pressing Alt to do this. I'm gonna change this. Okay, so instead of ideal, and I'll just Control V again. So get top X 168. So we just need to define this in the data section, wherever this is coming from, and also import this here. So we can see where this is being imported from is here, and I'll just say also please import get top 24 data, comma get top 168 data. I think that is what I did. Get top X 168 data. Sweet. So now if we look at this, is fine, and if you look at this, is fine as well. So all we need to do now is go to data controller and define these two wherever this is defined. So Control Shift F to find where this is defined in data controller, and also export that from there. Bit tedious, but doable. So if you do function, function get, we want to define two of them. One is this and one is this. And I'll define them as consts, not as the other one. And I will also export them. For now, I'll just say these are equal to an anonymous function, which don't return anything except for this. Oh, no. These need to give data. These are data functions, not React component functions. So for now, they don't return anything, okay? Just return empty array. So 现在我们可以So if you look at get top X data, what they're doing is they're looking the from times, and we actually should refactor this and pass in the from times to it. Okay, yeah, that is what we should actually do. And pass in the from times. Control Z. The from times. Yeah. So I'll do a defined argument here. Yes. And this is a default arg, the from times. And this always needs the from time. If it's not defined like that, is what it is. Okay, so next what we can do is just use this, honestly, to get, so I can do a return. In there, return the from times is equal to an array, of just one. So if we go to my function that I created here, I can say the from times is equal to 24, and this will then be get the from times 168. Now it's the time to test. We'll test the I say app line 20, like line 12 is not happy. So if we go to app line 12, we just put a comma there, and then we see this rebuild is like line number 100 has already been declared. Line number 100, if you see, where is line number 100? Top, it's 168. Okay. So if you see any errors here, it says compiled with 2 errors. Export was not found. So basically, we need to export those to what we just created. So this and this we created, we need to go to the very bottom and export them as well. So just comma, yeah. And then if you see the from time is not defined, he says. The from time is not defined. We just defined that. So I can just say like let. Really? I think this is how we used to do the this is a default. Okay, maybe in Python it works. Here it does not work. It's fine. Okay, so the from times. So I'll say if the so basically saying if not the from times, I will define let the from times be. Okay. And now if we say the from times is not defined, yeah, because that's an argument. What are you talking about? Line number 166. 166. Oh. I was doing a bit of a Python in here. I think then the previous one was also all goods. It's just the yeah. So all top is still happy somehow, but 24 is not. So do we have some error? Console errors? No. No roots. Oh, okay, so it's top 24, right? Okay, so it's also giving 17. Okay, first of all, let's change our routes. So we close data controller and we close navigation, and we will define fix our routes. So our routes are doing top. This is correct. Okay, so it wasn't reloaded or what? Okay, so for some reason, want to life metrics. For some reason, top and then top 24. Okay, so the links, the routes are fine, but the links are foobar. So we can fix the links. So this needs to be top slash. Needs to be top slash. Why do I need to do it 2 times? Should I be able to do it 1 time only? Okay, so if we now go to home and reload this, we should have a better build. So if you go to 24, it shows 24, 68 shows 68. Somehow it is also showing 17 for some reason for always. So that's I'm actually fine with that. This is actually already API level. You know, I could make that a variable, but it works. For now, it works. So all top, 24 and 68. Okay, so last one, 68 hours. Metsuo. Okay. So we've achieved the goal. So let's commit. Let's make a commit now. If we look at, we added a navigation, we updated a little bit of data, and then basically just added just data stuff, and then I've added the navigation in the routers, added a bit more routes, and some formatting. In data controller, we just added a new function, like updated the old function and added new functions that use the old functions functionality. Okay. And then in app.js, navigation.js is basically basic, very basic kind of a React component. So we'll say added good navigation. Yep. And then we say commit that, sync that, and now we can actually go ahead and deploy. Check the deploy. If you go to dash.lk.nz, we'll see probably it's deployed by now. Yes, so it is deployed. If you go to last 24, happily going 24 all top. Yeah, we go home all top. There we are. Thank you for watch and see you next time.